Welcome, Western New York, as we are now in the bowling alley and we are at Airport Lanes, where today Alden will take on Cheektowaga here locally. We were also supposed to have Maryvale and Tonawanda for you, but unfortunately, with the Tonawanda snow day, there will not be a Maryvale Tonawanda match. So we are just going to do Cheektowaga and Alden. I am joined by Francis Beck and Frank Wolf, two of the best on the mic, no doubt about it. And we are just getting started, as you see right now. You can see some of the Cheektowaga bowlers that are out here. And so we're going to go from different screens for you today. We'll introduce as things go, as things happen. We'll do our best to get you scoring. You can see some of the scoring as we give you updates or different screens that we go to. It'll capture the screen up above, and you'll be able to see some of the scores. But otherwise, we'll do our best right now to be able to help you see exactly what's going on. So, Francis, Frank, what do you see out over there?
Well, things are now underway. Middle lanes, which I believe would be just to the right of this current camera shot we have up, have the A team. So why don't we jump right into them? Who we have on the A side. We'll start with the Cheektowaga boys team. Their A team includes Chase Catholdy, Jeffrey Giola, and Dan Train. At A team for the Alden boys is Marty Rzepska, Michael Sheehan, and Colin Fisher. And then we'll go to the girls for Cheektowaga on the A team. It's Grace Amanti, Jessica Ferrone, and Sydney Bird. And then finally, Alden girls A squad, Hannah Bishop, Emily Wetzer, and Caitlin Panic. Those are the A team matchups. Now for the B team, we'll start with the Cheektowaga boys. We'll have Joe Ratzenstrauss and Dylan Gorney are on for the B team. I believe they have a blind bowler for the third. And then for the Alden boys, it'll be Dylan Fisher, Ethan Davidson, and Johnny Mikulski. For the Cheektowaga girls, Alexis Badgett, Alyssa Bedron, and Marissa Sealander. And then finally, the Alden girls B squad is going to be Sylvia Whitmer and Erica Bieber, as well as a blind bowler that will include the third one. So those are our bowlers for this evening here at Airport Lanes, as Tom just mentioned, between Alden and Cheektowaga, boys and girls going at it.
And I'm just taking up space, Tom. I'm working next to Francis. I'm down at lanes 17, 18, 19, and 20, where the girls are off to rocking start, I will say.
And the Alden girls right now 6-1 on the season. Their only loss right now comes to Maryvale. Wins over Cleveland Hill, Tonawanda, Cheektowaga, Depew, Cleveland Hill again, and Tonawanda again. So this Alden girls team is a very good team that'll be out here on the lanes.
I'm looking up at the scoreboard right now. I do not see any strikes, but we do have a spare, and I believe it belongs to... Let's see. Oh, we have a couple spares. So one belongs for Cheektowaga. No, I think my eyes are deceiving me.
They're deceiving you.
Yes, all right.
I got Erica Bieber and Sylvia Whitmer for Alden. They are on 20 lane. They're on lane 20 and 19. And they are up against Cheektowaga's Alyssa Bedron. She's a junior. Alexis Badgett, the sophomore, who bowled a 9 in the first frame and a spare, 6 spare in 2. And then you also have Marissa Sealander. Marissa Sealander is the leadoff bowler in this matchup here with Alden.
All right, now I'm looking over. I believe it was Jeffrey Giola for Cheektowaga boys. Already has a spare. He's two sets in two
2 frames.
2 frames into this game here. First time doing bowling in a long time.
So, guys, watch some of this. It's going to get real interesting, right? Especially when you watch right now the boys here. You're going to see guys throw the ball different ways. See right now on lane 24, the hook that he just threw? If he's bowling on a set of lanes where someone you see throwing the ball straight down the lane, like down the middle, which is happening right now on lane 25 that you'll see right here. Watch. Watch the difference of the ball go down the middle, straight down the middle. What happens is, you saw when we got here, the oil, the machines that run the lane, the oil that's out there. When you have someone bowling straight like that, they'll push that oil down. And as somebody that is a hook bowler right there is going to need to make adjustments because you're going to watch that oil push down the lane for them.
So, Tom, let me ask this question. I'm assuming then, as the bowling goes on, the oil patterns change a little bit, depends on what's used and what isn't.
Yep.
So how often do these bowlers need to game plan for changes like that throughout a match like this?
Oh, you could be changing every couple frames sometimes. And it also depends where you're actually on the pair, right? So as silly as this sounds, if you were bowling on 1 and 2, your shot may hold longer on 1 and 2 because it's up against the wall with the cold air right there, helping the oil stay on the lanes a little bit longer. We got heat going on in here right now. Evaporation of heat affects oil that's out in the lanes. I talked to you, a guy pushing the ball down with a regular ball, pushing the oil straight down affects there. Or if you have guys constantly all throwing the same exact shot, you can see they'll break down the oil and make it sure that you've got to adjust left, right over there to be able to get more of a hook out of the ball or more of a swing out of the ball because of the evaporation.
Well, I do see a strike on the board so far. Actually, we're seeing a couple so far. I think that is on the boys' side.
We just saw one on the girls' side, too, on lane 21.
Yeah, so Colin Fisher for Alden, he's got 4 strikes to start out with, doing real well for the Bulldogs. You have a couple strikes on the girls' side.
Nice shot on 23 right there. That was a big shot. Right up 10 is where that went.
Yeah, Grace Amonte of Cheektowaga girls, she has a strike already for herself.
It was Erica Bieber, the 7th grader, who rolled a strike in frame 3. Coming out of frame 2 with a score of 26. We'll have to see how she does in 4.
Now, if I'm reading the scoreboard correctly, it appears in the 4th frame that all 3 A bowlers for Alden bowled a strike, so that is huge for them.
Well, actually, take a look at is that a 4-bagger right there?
Yeah, Colin Fisher.
Yeah,
Colin Fisher. Yeah, he has 4 in a row, and on that 4th frame, all 3 A bowlers for Alden did hit a strike.
So see how they capitalize off this. But Colin, again, I'm pretty sure that was the one we saw where we got a chance where I said strike on 23 right there, where you saw it, and you could see he was going straight up 10. Now, when I say straight up 10, that'd be 2 markers from the gutter is where it is. So 2 markers from the gutter on the right-hand side would be him going straight up 10. Nice lefty shot there on 24.
Mario Hall, our roving cameraman, is doing a fine job. You could find him over between lanes 24 and 25 right now. He's just picking up that men's battle on those 2 lanes, heating up quite a bit.
Yeah, I believe that is that is the A battle between the 2 boys teams.
So here's Colin right now. 5-bagger. Now, did you see where he threw that ball, Francis?
No, I missed it.
He's swinging it out over the middle. So he's swinging it about 15. He's sitting in that middle of the lane is what he's doing. So he gets that finish, that right on the end, that quick finish right on the end is what he's looking to do.
We have one of our resident bowling guys, Tom Prince, who was a bowler in his high school. And did you do it collegiately, Tom, or just in high school?
Actually, I didn't do it in high school. I did it collegiately.
I was late to our production meeting today.
But when you say in high school, I still bowled in leagues and different things during that time. even though I didn't bowl in high school, just because it was a conflict. As many people do know, I was out on the track doing multiple things or on the baseball field doing other things. So
another one of our key contributors to WNY Athletics, Jeremy Becker, is a bowler in the Jamestown neck of the woods. He's bowled 300s. Hoping to bring Jeremy up to do some color work when we get to sectionals. And just a few short weeks away, Francis Beck is taking a break. He's running down to the snack bar to get us something, I think. Nope, I'm wrong. He's going to get some more scores from the boys. See, I was wrong, Tom.
So Jeremy, I think, has got 4 300s at this point. I do have a 300 myself under my belt.
All right.
I've got, I think, 3 299s. I've got 4 298s. So I've been down that road multiple times, no doubt about it.
I bowled a 300 after 2 games.
There you go.
14 frames.
Oh, nice shot over there on lane 22.
And that's...
But Frank, here, see how did you just see lane 24? We just showed the shot right there. The one with the split up there. And you can see it. What happened on that one was he went a little too straight right toward the pocket. And then at the very end, you saw the break that tried crossing over the head pin right there. Just got to make sure, straighten that out a little bit more over 10. Let it hold in the oil, and then it'll break on the end right into the pocket.
Nice.
And here we go. This is Kaelin again. He's going for 6 right now. And he's got it right there. There's a 6-bagger right there on lane 23.
Keep our main man Mario down there. Get a nice close-up of the action on 26. So we got that battle on lanes 21 and 22 intensifying. Close score in there, 152-148. And I believe that favors the Alden girls right now over Cheektowaga.
Dan Tran right now leads Cheektowaga with 81 pins knocked down at last check.
Who's got the 6-bagger down there?
That's Colin. That's Colin Fisher, the freshman from Alden, right now with the 6 in a row strikes.
Should probably keep a camera on the young man as he gets close to maybe a perfect game. I don't want to jeopardize anything. Tom, is it the same thing in bowling as baseball when you don't talk about it?
It's exactly it. Do not say a word.
He can't hear me.
And in fact, you'll even see it many times. You ever see the pitcher throwing the perfect game where they start getting away from him and not saying anything to him? Oh, you'll see a lot of that. A lot of superstitions over in bowling also.
All right, I screwed that up. He's got 2 more games, though. We got a second here. Might as well thank some of our sponsors today. Howard Hanna Real Estate and Media Care, the Paul Wolf Insurance Agency in Kenmore, and Logistics Plus of Buffalo. Give them a call. We appreciate our sponsors. There's room for plenty more. Give Heidi a call or send her an email. Heidi at WNYathletics.com. Airport Lanes is the setting of today's bowling matchup between the Alden Bulldogs and Cheektowaga Warriors. We were expecting, Tom and Francis, another match to be going on. Maryvale, which is at the top of the standings in their respective division, taking on Tonawanda today here, but unfortunately Tonawanda had schools closed, so that canceled afternoon activities. So we're stuck with just one game here this afternoon.
All right, let's take a quick look at the girls' A game right now. Right now, it's about a very close one right now with Alden. Yeah, with Alden leading the way 177 to 173. Right now, the top bowler is Grace Amonte, the senior. She has 61 pins knocked down through 5 frames. Cheektowaga, meanwhile, is led by, oh, I'm sorry. Now, well, we have a new leader for the girls right now.
That's going to change.
Yeah, it'll change, especially since some things aren't added in. But Francis, go right now to lane 24, right? 6-bagger on the line right now. He got it. There's 7.
The Green Lantern doing his thing.
And I'll tell you this, man. Right now, if you look, he's one of the only guys sitting in that middle of the lane at about 15 right there. So he's sitting in that oil right there and it's breaking on the very end. That shot could hold the longest right here tonight because he's one of the only ones playing out there right now.
Wow.
But no. So here. So what did I tell you? Just look at this shot right now. Look at Alden. See anybody right now talking? You see them all getting away. We're showing some of the girls right now. Wow, folks, take a look right now. Is coming up on lane 23. So you can see he's got 7 in a row right now. So we're going to stick to him. Take a look. He's got his green ball, but you'll be seeing him. He'll throw it out over about 15. And what we do is for every arrow on the lane, that is 5 boards is what it is. So you've got 5, 5, 5. So when we say 15, he's throwing the ball at about the 3rd arrow is where he's throwing it right now and swinging it over the 3rd arrow. And he got it again. Folks, he stays hot right now with an 8-bagger. He's getting that nice, what he's doing is even when he's coming up a little high on his shot, you see him getting the kick out from the pins. Doing a great job right there, like I said, of holding that line. Francis, this is a line that I think he can hold at least through the end of this game without making any adjustments.
All right, let's pull it over to the girls' A side right now. We have the Alden girls leading 247 to 236 over Cheektowaga. High bowler right now with 85 pins is Emily Wetzer of the Bulldogs.
Nice shot, perfect form right there on 21, right? Follow through everything nice right down the middle. We're going to switch back here in a second to the boys as we're looking. We're going to look to see as we got a bowler trying for a big game right now. No matter what, it is a big game because he does have 8 in a row. So we'll stick right there on lane 20. You can see, unfortunately, a split left right there. 22, there's a nice follow through with a strike right down the middle.
How about on 19? That was a nice pickup there. I believe that was Whitmer. Nope, excuse me, that was Bieber.
We're going to switch back over to the boys right here. Okay, so you can see picks up the spare right there, and now I'll tell you one thing you also watch for is how much courtesy he gets. Right, when you see somebody going for a big game, you start to see them getting more lanes of courtesy Watch right now. See how there's nobody up on the lanes near him? They're going to give him even more courtesies. He's getting 2 lanes either way right now. Oh, that comes up light, unfortunately. You can see is when you're out in that middle, just didn't finish the way he wanted it, but a great run right there. 8 in a row right there. Still looking to shoot a nice high game right here with hopefully 3 in the 10th.
We'll look over Jessica Fullerone from Cheektowaga Girls. Currently has 112 pins knocked down through 7 frames. Couple of spares in there, couple of spares, couple of strikes as well. So she's having a great game. She now leads the way. Cheektowaga girls now have a 304 to 274 lead over Alden. It's about roughly 30 pins. So we head into the final couple frames, final third of their first game here.
Nice spare there on lane 20.
You know what, why don't we take a look at the boys' standings? Well, actually, we'll take a look at the girls' standings right now in the ECIC North Small Division. Right now, it's Maryvale at top 7-0. Of course, they are not playing today. But right behind them is Alden, who is 6-1. So a chance with a win on the girls' side can tie for the top of the ECIC North Small Division. Cheektowaga is currently 1-3 on the season. Check out the boys.
Oh, nice pickup on 21. What a great spare right there on its split.
Let's see if I can get a name on that. It looks like that was Grace Amati, senior. Oh. Oh, I can't tell who it was.
This is like we're using as our learning curve. We're trying to understand the lanes and all these different bowlers. We're getting ready for sectionals, so we chose a date where we were going to be out at airport lanes to try and give everybody a glimpse of what coverage may or may not look like a couple of weeks from now. So we're testing our equipment out. Camera angles and such.
We were set up for 2 bays, Frank. We were supposed to, like we said, we thought Maryvale and Tonawanda were going to be here. So we were set up for a second bay, so that's kind of why we're trying to make some adjustments right now.
Girls' game is pretty tight right now. We have Cheektowaga girls. There was just a change. So right now it's Alden leading Cheektowaga 342 to 329 in the girls' aid matchup.
Take a quick moment to send a shout out to Miguel Rodriguez from the Buffalo News. We're still at Millard Suburban, thinking about Miggy every day. Hope he's getting better. Hope to see him back out in a dugout or a press box or somewhere soon. Get well, Miggy. We're all thinking about you, buddy. slowly winding down with the first set of games. And it looks like Cheektowaga is going to hang on. Their B squad. Looks like their B squad is going to hang on to defeat Alden. Waiting for the final score to come in. Again, Alden only had 2 bowlers. So we'll have to get a reading from Dan Kaplan to see how that game shook out. But with the 3 bowlers, Cheektowaga had 354. They are high-fiving themselves over here. Alden finished with a score of 184. So we'll have to wait and see how that shakes out. For Alden, Sylvia Whitmer rolled an 84. And Erica Bieber rolled a score of 100. She had a strike in the 3rd frame. Sylvia had a strike in frame 7. Over on lanes 21 and 22, where the A games are going on between Cheektowaga and Alden. Cheektowaga has a slim lead, 380 to 365 over Alden, as we are now in the 10th frames. It's Alden with a 390, 373 lead over against Cheektowaga on those alleys. Caitlin Panic now bowling for Alden in the 10th, and looks like she just pulled an 8 as her. That was her 9th frame. No. She's.
So, hey, so everybody knows Francis and I were having a great conversation, and I want to let everyone know what that conversation was a little bit about. But it's about scoring, and especially as you come to watch some of these events, a lot of the scores are not fully added in. It's waiting for the next ball to be thrown, especially when you have a mark there. So it's tough to really say sometimes what team is ahead, which is why the old-fashioned way of scoring, when they did it, you could put the amount of marks, and then you saw marks at the very bottom of your score sheets, where it would say 3 or 4 or 5 written on the bottom of the score sheet. And then it was tracking marks along the way. So what you can do is you can say, for every mark you were ahead, that really gave you 10 points in a lead is where it was. And it's not a perfect science, but it was close enough to where you could really tell who was going in and who was leading and going into certain events. But it looks like we got some finals out there, Francis. Can you see the finals?
All right, so for the girls, make sure I have the. For Alden, they finished with 400. Alden girls finished with 422 pins, it appears. Or going to finish with more than that. But the Cheektowaga girls have 401, so it looks like Alden is going to take the win on the A side. And then the boys side, it's going to be Alden, of course, led by Colin Fisher, who led off with 8 strikes. Is going to help Alden to win. I believe that they finished with 619 pins knocked down and about 567 for Cheektowaga. Those are the A finals.
Yeah, and a nice. Was it a 268 he finished with?
And it just went away.
Oh, okay. I think that's what it was. But his obviously his hot game right there was the biggest reason right there for the success of Alden. You can see we're giving you a couple different camera angles right now. You're getting to see the releases of some of your boulders out there.
Looks like we already have a strike on the first frame down on the A boys side. I believe that was Michael Sheehan. And then that was followed by then Colin Fisher again with another strike. So 2 strikes to start for the Alden boys. And then on the Cheektowaga side, they're going strong. We had Chase Catholdy with a spare, and that's followed up by Dan Tran, who got a strike. So the boys off to a big start. And then you look now in the girls' game, we have back-to-back strikes for Alden, I believe. Yep. That's Emily Wetzer and Caitlin Panic, each with a strike. So game 2 appears like these bowlers have gone into their rhythm, and we're already seeing multiple strikes in the first frame.
Alexis Badgett knocked 8 down in her first. She's going again with her second ball to close out the frame. And she picks 1 up for Cheektowaga, the Lady Warriors. Now Alyssa Biedron is back on lane 19. Erica Bieber with a spare on lane 20. Sydney Byrne picks up a spare. Starts off with 2 spares over on lane 21.
So, folks, we're trying to set up another angle for everybody. So we got a third camera that we're working. You're seeing it go right now, where you're getting a chance to see it from a different angle right there. So you can see nice up close shot right there. Get to see the release, and then of course down to the pins. But we'll go back and forth with different views, so you can see hopefully your favorite bowler out there that you're looking for to see what's going on.
All right, now we have Dan Tran of Cheektowaga has started off this second game with a pair of strikes, as had his counterpart from Alden. Of course, Colin Fisher, who started off last game with 8 strikes. He starts off this one with 2 of them on his first 2 frames.
I'm taking a lot of heat, gentlemen. A lot of heat from my family. My niece bowls for Mount St. Mary's, and they want to know why. I'm telling you guys, you can't win for losing sometimes, but I'm taking a lot of heat right now.
Hey, you could say that you're here, right? You wanted to get bowling out there and give them their due. So you're giving bowling their due at least, right?
I made it worse. I said, I thought you was playing basketball.
Listen, even I followed that on Facebook and knew she was bowling.
Out of touch, man. I'm out of touch. Tom, what else we got going on this week? I know we're doing bowling tonight, but are
Yep.
you at
So
a
t-
basketball game tomorrow?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
going
We
on?
got 2 basketball games going on tomorrow. Tomorrow you're going to be at Ken West, as Ken West will take on Fredonia. Fredonia comes up in a big battle. Plus, we hand out another Freak of the Week award at the Ken West game. And then I'll be with a team up in Wilson, as the Wilson girls will take on the Newfane girls, and that's the battle of first place in the Niagara Orleans division. So that's a big matchup right there. Thursday, you've got 3 hockey games plus a wrestling match, right? So I think it's St. Francis and
In St. Joe's, it's a
St.
wrestling
Joe's in wrestling, right? And then Francis, do you know the 3 hockey games that will be going on Thursday?
I don't remember all 3 of them, but I do know the big one, which is at 6 o'clock. That's Joe's Will North. And Tom, I don't know if you know you don't follow boys hockey that much, but believe it or not, Joe's Will North is one of the biggest rivalries in all of the Fed. Some say it may even be bigger than Joe's Canisius.
Wow.
A very, very small number of people.
I don't know about that.
Come on. Francis, my
Hey.
email is going to be full.
Have you've been to a
What?
Joe's
Joe's
Will North
North,
game?
yes, but
That's an
I mean,
electric
I've
crowd.
been to Joe's Canisius football games where there were 3,000 people there.
I'm just talking about hockey itself.
Oh, is
Distant Boys
Will
Red.
North Joe's hockey against Joe's Canisius hockey?
Yes.
Okay, you want to put it in that? Okay,
Yes, that's all I was saying.
All right, well, hey.
Listen,
yeah,
right now,
yeah.
Frank, I'm going to tell you, you're going to keep getting those emails come flying in, right?
I don't think I was confusing. Tom, was I?
No, I got what you were trying to say.
Oh, man.
But I will say this, and then we finish off the week, right, with a fantastic basketball game as we go to CSAT, as they're going to take on Niagara Wheatfield.
Nice. I'm still looking for something to do on Friday. I'm going to go out and do something.
Wait, I thought
don't
that
know.
was on Friday.
It is, but he wants to do a second game.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
That's him doing something Friday. Can I go out on a Friday night and do a game?
Why not? Why can't we get you set up? We'll get another game going.
What's Friday's date? The 21st. We'll have to take a look and see what's going on. The other hockey game is not a bad one, Francis. 8:15. Iroquois Alden taking on Williamsville East.
Yeah, that won't be bad. Yeah, Williams Elise has had a very strong year, as has Iroquois Alden. I believe the other game is going to be Cash and someone in the girls' game. Let me look that up. But actually, before I do that, let's get back to some of these bowling scores. It looks like we have a couple of. We now have 2 spares right now for Chase Catholdi of Cheektowaga. For what?
I'm laughing because I looked at the boys' ice hockey schedule for Friday, and Orchard Park at West Seneca West, followed by Will South at West Southern East. What do you think, Francis?
What?
Should I camp out at West Seneca Ice Rink on Friday night?
Oh.
Francis is not answering that.
Now, but here's the question: when you go do these hockey ones, and Francis does get a chance to come, is it in shorts?
Yes,
Sometimes.
the kid has.
Wait, you can't do sometimes.
I was
It's gotta
thinking
be,
of him yesterday. He's in shorts right now.
well, we're inside in heat. That's different.
It depends on the rink. It depends on the rink.
Did you hear that?
I did. Nice shot on 20 right there. Just missed converting right there on 20.
There are some really big basketball games on Friday night. Joe's and
Oh, nice.
Nichols.
Nice strike right there on lane. I think that was 23 right there. Got a nice carry, a mixer that was called as you saw the pins mixing across the deck right there.
Rocking and rolling now. We're
Grace Amani right now for Cheektowaga has a strike to spare back to back.
Tom, I know you're doing a wrestling show with Matt O'Rourke tonight. Is that airing tonight, or is that just being recorded and you're going to show that another
No,
time?
I think we're going to go live with it. Once we get the exact time, I think we're going to go live with it tonight.
And then you're taping Center Court with Chad
Tomorrow.
Andrews tomorrow. So
Yep.
you got a busy week. Francis, what are you doing?
I'll be
Hockey
at
Thursday.
Hockey Thursday.
Bowling tonight. All right, I'm just busting your chops. Where's Harry Skull today? The Buffalo News. Do we know what he's doing photography for? He's one of our favorites. We love seeing him.
Couple more spares for Chase Gatholdi. For Cheektowaga, he's a sophomore. Has played 12 games. Knocked down a total of 1,621 pins for an average of just over 135. His high game is 194, and his high series is 498. Take a look. Alden, we talked about Colin Fisher in that first game. He started out with 8 strikes. He is a freshman for Alden. 12 games played, over 2,000 pins, giving him an average of 171 pins per game knocked down. It's a high game coming in here with 200 and high series of 556 pins. Alden girls' best bowler right now is Sydney Skimmer coming into this game. Looks like she is not bowling tonight. She's not in the lineup tonight, but she leads. She's senior, leads with 217 pin average over 18 games played.
Wow, she's averaging 217
in 18 games. Yeah, wow.
That is really good. That is one of your top bowlers right there, averaging 217.
Cheektowaga girls. Let's see, who are they led by? With 158, it's Jessica Furlone. She is a senior. 12 games played, total of about 1,900 pins knocked down coming into tonight. High game 211, high series 542.
Yeah, and Sydney with a 277 as a high. She's shot a 700 too. I mean, think about it. At 700, she's had at her high series. But if she's averaging 217, that's averaging still a 650 right there. So you're talking about she is consistent week in and week out right there. Really good job so far in the season.
With already over 100 pins for Cheektowaga boys is Jeffrey Giola. He has over 100 pins. That includes a spare and includes one spare, I see, and a strike, spare and a strike. So he's probably already in the 120 range, actually, but he right now looks like to be your leading bowler for the boys. They're about halfway through this second game.
Seen a couple substitutions. Now, don't kill me for not knowing exactly who they are, but at least on this beat, Francis. They substituted a bowler in to get her a game in. I believe they did it also down in on the far right lane there, 27 or 28. I saw they pulled another bowler up to 25 and 26. I think it's 25-26.
Yeah, nice pickup there on lane 25. The baby split right there picked up.
Alden only has 5 girl bowlers here.
Yeah, only 5. I believe I was talking to someone earlier. I guess they have a blind bowler on the B team, and I think it depends on the score of one of the other bowlers how they kind of do it.
The bowler isn't blind. Can you?
That's what they call it. That's what they call it.
But there's just no one here in that spot.
Yeah, there's
Which
no
is
one there.
And they do call it a blind.
All right. For the Frank Wolfs out there. Hey, there's a lot of us out there. I will wish my brother Paul a happy birthday. He turns 51 today. So happy birthday to my brother Paul, owner of Paul Wolf Insurance Agency, and turning 51 years old.
You just said that so you didn't get yelled at when you're done here.
Yeah, it's not like you got him a gift or anything.
Ooh, nice strike right there in 21. You can see we're trying to show you a couple different angles so you get to see the approach up close, what's going on in the approaches. And then we finish it with the shot so you can see the finish right there of what they're doing at the pins. Mario Hall on our camera right there. That is our kind of our camera that's moving on. We got Heidi Gunther controlling our producer out here tonight.
She saved my life earlier. Did I tell you this?
Is this a story for air, Frank?
Yes. I'm not a diabetic, but I haven't eaten all day. And I could hardly stand up about 2 hours ago. Like, my knees were shaking like crazy. Like, I had nothing in me. And the restaurant down there wasn't open yet, so I couldn't get anything. So she came around with these cherry jelly hearts filled with sugar, a full bag. And unfortunately for Heidi, I think I've eaten them all. I got 2 or 3 left. You want one, Francis?
No.
Either way, I'm back to healthy. I'm healthy. I'm no longer hungry. But I am curious to know what they serve up there at that snack bar, Francis.
Burgers, fries, chicken fingers, anything fried you want there, bud.
You know, I really, really have my heart set on a chicken salad. No comments, guys? Well, we were here earlier. Someone mentioned to us that they're going to have a PBA regional event here in May, and they were asking us for if we knew anybody that did any live streaming. We recommended a couple companies. It would be nice, though, to get out to another bowling event, no matter where it is, before we get to sectionals, just to familiarize ourselves with some more of these teams and individual bowlers.
A quick shout out here to Cheektowaga B team Alexis Baggett, a sophomore in the second game here. She already has a strike and a spare through 7 frames of the second one. She is a sophomore, as I just said. 7 games played, averaging 119 pins, knocked down. High series 407, high game 156.
Tom mentioned earlier on air that he had a 300 in his career.
You want to know the beauty of it?
Yes.
I actually, when I bowled that 300, I had used two different balls, one ball on one lane, one ball on the other lane, because the oil patterns were completely different on both lanes. Used two balls to throw that 300.
Emily Wetzer is throwing her first ball of the 8 frame on lane 21. She knocks down, looks about 7 pins. So just before that, she has already had a couple of spares. And of course, the score gets taken off the screen as I start to talk about it. But when it pops up, it looks like she has, counting, 4 spares and a strike. So she's having a fantastic game. And here she takes her second shot on frame 8. And she's able to get 2 more, so she ends frame 8 with a total of 9 pins. So currently she's at 120, but we know that it's much higher because she has 4 spares and a strike already in her back pocket. So she is top bowler for Alden. For Cheektowaga girls, leading the way, it appears, is Jessica Fullerone. You said her name a couple times, a senior. She has 3 strikes. She actually got 3 in a row, so she got a turkey, as they like to call it, as well as 2 spares as well. So currently listed as 131, but it's probably much higher at this point. So she's pulling her team. She's pulling the Lady Warriors right now.
So we're getting some close here to find our final scores of the second game right here.
Looks like the boys are in the 9th and 10th frames. The boys' A matchup is in the 9th and 10th frames.
We got a barn burner going on down there in lanes 23, 24. Woo! He's been hot today, Tommy.
You know, 260 the first game. He looks like he's sitting at 158. Is that in the 8th frame? Is that where he is?
I believe so. Maybe
So
9.
he can go out. Well, 158 in the 8th. He's got a strike in the 9th, which means if he goes off in the 10th, he can still go ahead and shoot a 218 right there.
Let's Baggett on the B team for Cheektowaga just hit a strike in front of us on lane 19.
We couldn't do a camera angle from the front where you get to stare down and get a good look at your participants because we just weren't here in time to get the cameras set up properly. But we think for sectionals, we may
It's a
be able to
possibility.
have, another camera angle so you can see the bowler coming to the approach.
We're getting close to it right here. It's like on the side angle we're getting right now.
We're definitely getting closer.
Yeah, what that angle we're hoping will be actually a camera halfway down the lane that will be able to pick them up and pick up their facial expressions.
Just don't read lips. Of course, you can always go to the bowling websites for Section 6. Section 6, I believe it's just section6bowling.com.
Yep, section6bowling.com, and you'll see a prompt on the top right for whether you want to see boys or girls up there. I think it's at the top right once you get there. So, yeah, we have the full standings up there as well. We talked about, let's see, on the girls' side here, Alden is currently in second place. A win would tie them with Maryvale, who we mentioned earlier was supposed to be squaring off against Tonawanda this afternoon. That was canceled. I believe Tonawanda had a snow day. So big time for Alden girls. They have a chance to tie atop the North Small Division in ECIC.
Francis, you're a Tonawanda guy. Town to Tonawanda, not city. How was the snow up there? Was it school canceling type weather?
That was I shoveled the snow. It was the heaviest snow I've ever shoveled in a very long time.
Would you have canceled school?
Yesterday, yes. Today, probably not. But there's other factors also got to keep in mind nowadays.
Those factors being?
Well, I mean, I think I know.
Put him on the spot.
He is putting him on the spot. Hey, just go listen. Francis, you don't know all the side roads, right? The side roads could be nasty in some cases. And in fact,
and there are more side roads in the city of Tonawanda, more one-way streets
Yes.
than there is in the town.
And that's where I think where Buffalo struggled with, because I think they were seeing a lot of the main roads were fine because they were contemplating having school, and then all of a sudden said, you know what? Later came back and said we couldn't have school because of the fact of they couldn't get down some of those streets. And I mean, I know, me being in sales and me being out on the road as much as I am, like yesterday, you'd see a road perfectly fine, and then you try to turn on a side street and forget about it. You'd get stuck.
Oh, yeah, and then the other thing is too is staffing.
Yep.
And the biggest thing is the buses. Do they have enough drivers first of all, and will the buses turn on? And if they can't get the buses out to the students, it's hard to have school.
Agree right there with you, Francis.
Back to bowling.
Well, that was because that's why Tonawanda's not here. So,
All right, looks like the A boy squad is finishing up this second game. We have about 4 bowlers who are through their 10 frames. It appears all 6 of the A bowlers for the boys are are over 100 pins this game. So they did very well. Trying to see if I can come up with a leader. It's going to be very close right now. It appears it's going to be Colin Fisher again. Yeah, Colin Fisher appears to be the top bowler from the second game for all the boys. So I just went over, looked at the scores. Boys game, for the boys A side, it looks like Alden has about an 80-pin lead over Cheektowaga through the first 2 games. And on the girls' side, it's a very tight right now. We have Alden with about a 20-pin lead over Cheektowaga, 834 to 817. All right, our Tom Prince is actually going to head closer to the score so we can see him better. Right now we're set up kind of in the corner, so it's hard for us to see kind of the scoring right now. We can see them bowl, but we can't really see the scoreboard. So Tom's going to head up there, and so he can better keep an eye on things on the A game. Why don't we head to check out the boys' standings right now. You can check these out, of course, on section6bowling.com. It'll give you a prompt boys or girls. But we'll take a look at the standings where they are right now in ECIC, the North Small Division. So currently at the top is Maryvale, who you mentioned was supposed to bowl against Tonawanda. They're 7-0 in the season. And then it's like a race for second place. You have Depew, who's 3-2. Cheektowaga, 2-2, trying to beat Alden. Alden's right now 3-4. So right now you have a 3-4 matchup between Cheektowaga and Alden as they fight for that second place. Behind them is at 2-3 is Tonawanda, and then still looking for their first win is Cleveland Hill. We'll check out some of the other divisions while we get as Game 3 kind of gets underway here at Airport Lanes. ECIC South Large. Right now it's a tight race at the top, three-way race. Cheektowaga currently 7-1, followed by Frontier 6-2, and West Seneca East is 6-2. ECIC South Small, tight race at the top. JFK is 5-0, and Pioneer is 5-1. Those two teams will meet tomorrow, 4 o'clock, for the top to get the lead in that division. And then the NFL is led by Niagara Falls 6. All right, Tom's just getting set up over there. We'll just go back through, finish up these standings. Lockport and Grand Island are right now tied at 2-2, or 5-2 on the season in the NFL. We'll check out Buffalo, their standings. 2 teams right now, 5-0 in Buffalo, Burgard and McKinley. And those 2 teams are set to face off. Their next matchup is going to be Monday, 4 o'clock against each other. Early lead in that division. We'll head down to the southern tier. Jamestown is currently 7-0-2.
All right, guys, can you hear me okay?
Yep, and we have Tom Prince, and he's going to set up shop over behind
so guys,
the A squad.
I just talked to the pro shop down here. This is a house shot that's out here tonight. House shot, what that means is that it's dry on the outside, oil's in the middle. So you get a chance. It's a forgiving shot. So if you can get that ball outside, it's going to come way back on you. It's what you've seen from a lot of these bowlers. So especially the ones that you see throwing the hook. See this one right here, as you see on 2024, see the finish right there? That's the back end. That means the oil's right now not on the back end, which is why it's finishing the way it is like that out there. So this is Chase right now bowling on lanes 23. See that great job of the outside. Gets it outside so that it finishes strong is what it is. Especially when you get the ball outside 10 here. Remember we talked about that earlier. Outside that second frame, boy, that's really the shot you want to be in here right now. Chase found it nice right there.
Tom's right in the middle of it now, Francis. I mean, he's really getting in there. He was bringing us some nice commentary from the sideline there. He's right in there, right behind. He was right behind Dan Kaplan, looking over his shoulder. I thought he was gonna get Kaplan on board for a second, but he's just kind of getting a closer look at the action. He's kind of, and now Kaplan's following him around like a little puppy. Look at Tom and Dan. They're like best friends again. But no, we got a nice little thing working today where we're getting getting our bowling fans their fill of bowling this afternoon from airport
So
lanes.
if you look right now on lane 24, we got a lefty. Lefties love when there's no other lefties out there because their shot holds the longest of anybody that's out there. Here's a lefty, great shot right there. Strike, he goes, he's got 40 in the second frame. He's got that Dutch 200 going. The Dutch 200 would mean strike spare, strike spare. If you go all the way out, it's called a Dutch 200, is what he's on pace for early on. Great opportunity. If you look at it on 23 right there, that's the back end, right? You see that major hook there, the finish? That's the oil on the back end. Chase looking to keep it going. Got it a little too far, right? That's the breakdown that you're seeing starting to happen out there on the lanes. Over here on the girls, great job right here. Crossover on lane 22 right there.
Emily Wetzer is up in lane 22. Has one pin to knock down. And she gets it. So Emily Wetzer, it starts with 3 spares in a row in this third game. So a good start for Alden, as we mentioned. Trying to get to the top of that North Small
nice
division.
Shot on lane 24 right there. You could see when you watched him bowl on lane 23 and 24, the difference between the two shots, he got that one out just outside 10, more towards the gutters what he did, and a great finish right there. You saw that finish perfectly.
This is our third and final game of the afternoon between Cheektowaga and Alden.
Big pickup on lane 22 right there, right? That's a big spare right there. Every mark, especially in these close matches, really come into play. It's those marks really that are huge.
Cheektowaga girls, Francis, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they just go to Syracuse a few years ago? Not long ago, because we had them in studio at GR when we did Ensign High School Sports.
You're right. Yeah, Cheektowaga has a strong bowling history, both on especially on the girls' side, led of course by Dan Kaplan, who's one of the coordinators over at Section 6.
Alden back-to-back spares right there. That's right now, look at that. If you take a look right there, 3 spares. That's what you want to do in these matches, right? Spare, spare, spare. Those are going to be just as important as any strike.
Emily Wetzer is up. We talked about it. She started this game off with 3 spares in a row at lane 21.
Take a look at Chase right down the shot he just had on lane 23. It's an adjustment a lot of bowlers do. When you come up high on your first shot, when you come up high on that first shot, what happens is you try to make the adjustment and move left. And when you move left, sometimes you get caught in that oil and it doesn't get that finish you want, and you leave, unfortunately, a washout or a split right there.
Tom, you've done a lot more bowling in your days than I do. I've never gotten close to a 300, but this bowler earlier today, the freshman, Colin Fisher, he was getting close to that 300. I believe did he roll off 7 or 8 in a row?
Yeah, 8 in a row.
8 in a row.
Does that play into you the rest of the way? Games 2, games 3, you're getting so close, and then you get a little frustrated. You don't get there. You tense up a little bit. Could that have a negative effect on the rest of your game as a bowler?
It depends. And I know that's not the answer probably you're looking for. But if I think for somebody that gets into the 10th frame and loses it in the 10th, 11th, or 12th, sometimes. If losing in the 8, I don't know if it really would have affected you like that. It's really when you get into that 10th frame when you know right now you can taste it, you can feel it, right? That's out there. And he didn't have that clean 10th frame either to say it was one frame that did it to me, right? So I wouldn't necessarily say that is. But now what starts happening, though, is are the adjustments, right? Is the oil making that change that you're just not making all the adjustments that you need with the oil as the oil makes its adjustment?
It looks like the girl, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm looking at for the girls right now. They're in a pretty close race on this ace guide, only pins away from each other. Obviously, these aren't complete scores.
There's a lot of marks right there for Alden, though, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That haven't been calculated into here yet. Versus, like you see, so now you're taking a look, right? It's about a 20.
It's a 20-pin lead.
20-pin lead, and then you add another 10 right there because you got a mark right here for Alden too. So you could say it's more like almost a 40-point lead right here. So watch the adjustment that'll happen right here. Here comes a strike, right? That's huge. So you can see how 20 just got added in. Now look at it. Now all of a sudden it's a 40-point match or a 38-point match. See that? It's marks that are really added in. So take a look now here for if you're seeing for Cheektowaga. So Cheektowaga, right, has got 1 mark right now going in versus you see the 2 marks right there for Alden. So already right now, Alden's got a 2-point or 20 or 10-point advantage going into this next set, right? Then if the anchor bowler can double, it becomes double than that because you're going to double that strike up there. Mm-hmm. So it could be even more that you're not even counting in right here. So big strike. So you can already start seeing, right? We're at back to 39 right here. No, 49. I apologize. See how it's 49 right now? We were just saying it was 39. So it's already 49 right now that are going. Now the next 2 that'll bowl, it'll be an even matchup, whatever they get. And then all they can take even more of a lead is double that strike up in the 5th. But you can see, guys, why this Alden girls team is so good. And not only that, you're missing a bowler right here that's averaging 217. Wow.
Yeah, Sydney Skimmer, senior. Right now, 18 games played, averaging, again, 217. A high series of 701.
But if you look at it, like I said earlier, when 217, if she's averaging 217, so think about that, with only a 701 in there, that means you're shooting on average 654 right there. Right? Unbelievable what she's out there doing. Her high is not far up, which shows how consistent she really is as a bowler.
You know what? But that brings me, why don't we look up who are the best bowlers right now in Section 6, or pull up the girls. So why don't we go by average? And right now it is, believe it or not, Cindy Skimmer who does lead the way right now with 217 average pins knocked down, best in Section 6. She's followed by Delaney Horbett from Lancaster with 205. Just under her is Emily Brock from Orchard Park. Number 4, Kaelin Weber from Kenmore.
Now, just interrupt. Kaelin Weber has an older brother that was a Monsignor Martin stud bowler, I believe is bowling collegiately now. But she has an older brother who bowled at St. Joe's.
And round out the top 5 is Emma Jones, 100, almost 198 average for this season.
Francis, look at that, though. Sydney's only got 3 games. That's it. Just 3 games behind the next bowler, right? So one, in essence, 1 round, right? Or 1 series behind right now the rest of the bowlers. And she's up right there. Look at that. By 12 pins on average. That is significant. Right
I
there.
mean, you look at total pins between her and Delaney, she's only off by what? Not like barely 100 pins. 3 games less.
Her brother was Mike Weber from St. Joe's, who just bowled the 300 collegiately at Lawrence Tech.
All right, why don't we check out the boys' statistics? These are, again, all found on section6bowling.com. We'll do it
Great
again.
Shot there on 23. I love his shot. He goes straight up the boards, a little swing right there to the outside, keeps it outside 10, and you're seeing he's finishing strong. And if he doesn't get the full finish he wants, he's still coming light in the pocket and getting a nice mix.
Declan Stiles of Orchard Park is right now the top average bowler in all of Section 6, 235.71 pins. Second is actually here with us tonight, Jeffrey Giola from Cheektowaga, averaging almost 229 pins. In the third spot from West Seneca West is Carson Guys, 227 average pins. Jake Willard, another Kenmore bowler, 224.6 bowling. He's in the 4th spot. And the top 5 again from Maryvale is Aiden Longo, 223 average pins knocked down. Those are the top 5 bowlers in Section 6. I believe sectionals are just about a month away. They'll be right here at the airport lanes. We're going to try to bring you that, the sectionals best we can when that comes up. So, again, as Frank mentioned earlier, this is a
I'm
test.
correct,
So
too. Declan Stiles last year was the sectional champion, if I'm correct, for Orchard Park last year. So looking to defend his title. And I'll tell you, a 230, what was it, 235 average? Boy, you want to talk about an average right there. He's taking it up to the next level, no doubt about it. So if you take a look right now, back to that Alden Cheektowaga girls match, it's about 100 pins right now.
Wow.
See that?
So Alden will tie for the lead in their division with Maryvale if things continue on as they are right now. And it appears the Alden boys are also holding a steady lead this afternoon as they visit Cheektowaga.
Take a look down the boys match. It's saying 1262 to 13d8, right? And then you got 2 marks on Alden's side right now versus 3 marks right now on the Cheektowaga side. So the Cheektowaga does have an opportunity to make up some ground right here, especially with if he could capitalize on that double strikes right there, turn it into a turkey. Seen a lot more kids bowl without the finger in there, just the fingertips in the second hand. The reason for that is the revs, right? Is the rotations you're trying to get on your ball. The more rotations on the ball, the more the ball hooks. That's ultimately what it is, right? And he's trying to get as much rotation as he has. But that's a 3-bagger, and right now capitalizes on those 2 marks to keep out right now that trying to break it a little bit into that Alden lead. Frank, were you going to say something?
Nothing important.
That's Dan Tran who has the turkey, we should say. I think he was a little slow in the first game, but I think in the second game he started to. Maybe, am I wrong here?
Say that again.
Was Dan Tran a little bit slow to start, and then he kind of got going in the second game, if my memory serves me right.
And that's somebody adjusting to the shot, right? And there are some people that like a drier shot versus more oil out there, right? Somebody that really revs the ball sometimes doesn't like a breakdown, right? Because it's too much of a hook for them to finish on the end. Versus somebody who's going straight up, who likes to go straight up over that second arrow, right, and hook it in. They love when the back end opens up because they're going straight and they got tons of movement normally to do where they're only adjusting 1 and 2 boards. Versus somebody who's got a lot of revs, it's a tough adjustment as the breakdown of the lanes happen. See, like, watch him go straight up right now in the lane. See down there? See how it's straight up right almost 10? Look at that. Finish right in there. Perfect shot right there, right? And he's going straight up the board. A guy like that loves the breakdown right there.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a name on that last streak. I believe that.
Is it? It's M.
I think that would be Marty Rebska. Marty Rebska. Rebska, senior, averaging about 191 pins coming into this matchup.
Really, I'll tell you, the best bowlers are the ones who make the best adjustments throughout the match. Because you'll see is oil changes constantly from game to game. The only times you'll really see a bowler that sometimes doesn't have to make as many adjustments is a lefty bowler. Just because there's not many of them, right? There's not as many of them. And because there's not as many of them, their shot doesn't evaporate as quickly as a right-handed bowler does. Which is why you always see the right-handers make fun of the lefties saying it's not fair, you got an easier shot. Right? They're always teasing the lefties out there. But I'll tell you, I've seen some lefties that have absolute gorgeous shots, and you can hold it there as long as you can without making adjustments. You're going to put some big scores up.
Emily Wetzer, if I can pull up her stats real quick, having a great sophomores, having a great third game. I already see I think 4 or 5 spares. I saw a strike, so she's finishing up her afternoon very strong.
So, Francis went a little. So look back here, your bowler back here at Cheektowaga. See how he's taking the shoe off?
Yep, I see that.
With a shoe on?
Looks like he's trying to stand on the 1 foot and.
Well, no, he's taking the shoe off purposely, right? Because that's the shoe that he's got to put his landing foot on, right? His finishing foot, and that's the one that you have your slide on. If you get any of that wet or any water on those things, you'll stop dead in your tracks out on the lane, which is why bowlers freak out when they see someone walk in or bring in snow from the outside, because if they get any water on any of those shoes out there, it'll stop them dead in their tracks and make that shot stop. Make them stop. Like, you'll see them, they'll go head first. It'll be that bad, just from like a dot of water. That's all it takes. So you'll see either bowlers do what he did, take the shoe off, or you'll see them put little booties on over their shoes and walk around with the booties on so they don't get wet.
Gotcha.
Tom, these balls come in at 13, 14, 15-pound balls. What size ball would you say one of these guys are using, and what size ball would you say these ladies are using?
15, 16s for the most part. The guys. The girls are probably, they could use anywhere between the 12 and 15, depending on what they're trying to do, right? Versus someone that's going straight up the middle versus someone that's trying to get a hook out there. So it'll just be, what they're comfortable with.
And every one of these bowlers participants today rolled in with more than one ball.
Oh, yeah. Listen.
A guy had 4.
When I rolled into a tournament, I rolled in with 9 balls.
9 balls?
I rolled in with 9 balls for tournament play. I usually came in anywhere between 3 and 6 balls for my league play.
Wow.
But every ball did something different is what it did, right? You didn't know what the ball bending on the oil, every ball did something different. Some would bite early, right? Some would be dull so it could get through the oil. Some would be, really clear where I didn't want the ball to hook, right? Sometimes I also had a ball that would be strictly for the 10 pin. That I would go straight in the 10 pin. I wanted that thing to just slide right there in the oil and go exactly where I threw it.
Could you take it to the pro shop before the game and do something with it?
Sometimes. Sometimes you had to get them resurfaced. Sometimes you had to get them cleaned, all different things. But he'll tell you he does resurfacing as well as, the brand new balls. But it all depended on the shot. And the problem is if you were going to go and try to win a tournament, you wanted to make sure you had enough balls depending on what the shot was out there. Because you only have in a tournament sometimes, you may only have 3 or 4 frames to make an adjustment and find what is necessary for you to do. Because you don't get the warm-ups like you do get house warm-ups in practice. Sometimes you're lucky you get a ball on each lane. When my first son was born, I actually got the chance to bowl in the ABCs when they were in Syracuse, and they put them actually not in a bowling alley at the air. It was actually brought at the War Memorial. They brought in lanes from the War Memorial, where our bowlers have actually bowled in the state championship in that setup there. And I'll never forget, after the first weekend, I was actually leading the ABCs with it was only a 709 that I had. But it was funny, it was actually covered on the news, and I was sitting waiting for my son to be born. On the news came through as local favorite Tom Prince leading the ABCs. It was pretty neat to see as I'm sitting there watching, getting ready for my son to be born. Nice shot there on 23. You could see the power. You could see power like that, and you can get even more power, especially on a shot like this, as it opens up later in the day. As you see, it's now opened up for them.
Looks like both the A matchups are in the 9th frames right now, so we're wrapping up this afternoon. A third game of 3 games, Alden versus Cheektowaga. Alden girls hoping to get tied for that top spot in their division.
Boys are wrapping it up. They're all in the 10th frame.
Boys
right behind them.
Cheektowaga and Alden boys are 3rd and 4th.
Hey,
in
that match down there is
division.
A little bit closer than we think, that Alden Cheektowaga matchup.
The boys or girls?
Boys. It was right now, it was 15-19 for Alden, but they were a little bit ahead because he threw already a strike in the 10th frame. So Cheektowaga right now, I'm waiting for the graphic just to clear up, is sitting at 1440, right? So about 70 pins difference. Now, here's the big differences. The anchor bowler for Cheektowaga with the strike that we saw thrown. If he can capitalize on that and double that up, he can cut into that lead. This is not insurmountable here for Cheektowaga to come back. That's a big carry. That's a big carry right there as he gets the spare so he can match Alden right now on the flip side. So you can see right now we're sitting at 1570 versus 1444. Or I'm sorry, 1529. I apologize. 1529 to 1444, okay? Now watch. There's still a ball to be thrown by Cheektowaga right here first, which will just be whatever the pin count that he gets. So you can see about a 70 pin difference, but that strike for the anchor bowler could be the difference down there.
Electronic scoring has come a long way since I bowled.
Probably not the pin count Cheektowaga wanted on that. Only comes up with a 5 pin count on that. So you can see right now it's 1449, 1545 with Alden 1 shot right now ahead. So there's still time for Cheektowaga to make up even that 1 shot to cut into this lead. Every spare for Alden will have meaning to this one. Big, big spare right there. Little too much lift on that one. You see a crossover past the head pin to the other side. Just had a little too much lift on it. So it's 1547 to 1463 right now. So there you go. See, six balls right there as we see somebody walking in for their house league. Alden with the strike right there. That's big. Cheektowaga with the spare with the answer.
Here's Alden girls are in the final frame of the A side.
Big strike right there by the boys, right? He's trying to. This is a big one right here because a double could really almost put this one out of reach for Cheektowaga if he could double this one up. Because what you're going to need the anchor boulder for Cheektowaga is he's going to have to go off and get 3 in a row to even have a shot at this. Oh, that's
There's
big
one.
right there. That may be it right there. And that gives him his 200 right there. He needed to get a 3-bagger right there in the 10th to shoot his 200. And it's going to be leaves the 4-pin right there. Oh no, sorry, the 4-7 is what he leaves over there. So that should do it right there for the Alden team as they come up big today. Both the girls and the boys matches, Alden comes up big. Finishes up 203 right there. Looks like he made that one, so that'll he's going to finish with, it looks like a 170. Can't see what it is, but it looks like it'll be a 170 and change.
About a 100-pin win for Alden in the girls' side. For the Alden girls, they will be tied for the top of their division with Maryvale.
You can see right here. Take a look at the scores, right? So you got right here 430 to 401, 581 to 404, and 540 to 438 as Alden took 2 of the 3 right there. And then on the flip side, over on the boys' side over there, Alden goes 619 to 562, 446 to 424, and 520 to 511 right there. And takes all 3 games, so and plus series. So great matchup. Alden does a great job here today to finish this one out.
Nice day to break us in our bowling coverage here from Airport Lanes. We'll be back in at least a couple of weeks at the very least if we don't get another matchup in soon to get us ready for sectionals, get you at home ready for sectionals. Tom Francis, pleasure working with you guys this afternoon.
Always love working with you guys, you know that. But,
Heidi Gunther on production and Mario Hall with the extra added bonus of a roving camera. Hospitality here was good.
I think.
Absolutely, no doubt. What were we going to say, Francis?
Yeah, and I think that'll do it for us this afternoon. So for Frank, Tom, Mario, Heidi, I'm Francis Speck. Thank you for tuning in and for watching this latest edition of Section 6 Bowling on Western New York Athletics.
Have a good night, everybody.
Even the most prepared moms experience the unexpected. When you do, we're here for you.
When you're ready to buy a home, start your search at howardhanna.com. You'll be the first to see new listings, find similar properties, and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent. Get started today at howardhanna.com.